Alright, so we finished our human algorithm and our flowchart. Now we're ready to go ahead and start coding. Alright, so we'll open up HTML kit right here, and we'll go ahead and get started. So the first thing we have to do is create our places in memory. And where do we get our empty ones? We get it from input, and we get it from places where we're going to store mathematical operations. Alright, so the first one I have is shift 1. So I go ahead and copy that and paste it in, comma space, whoops, grab the second one, Control C, Control V, comma space, get the third one, copy, Control V, and not really running out of room, but we got plenty of lines I could use, so I'm going to put next one on the next line. Then I have three left side of the equal sign. So I need a blank place in memory in order to be able to store those answers. So I have that, comma space. And then the second one, copy, paste, comma space. And the third one, copy, paste, and I'll do a semicolon and then do a third one, and that'll be for our true value. Alright, so wherever I'm going to be storing the result of calculations and wherever I'm going to be taking an input, that's going to be my blank places in memory, and that's the first thing I do. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to have is my assignments. So I'm going to take these three right here and copy them, paste them in. The only thing I have to do is place var space in the front of them, so I'm going to go ahead and select this, hold down the Control key on my keyboard, drag it down to copy it, then copy it, then copy it. Alright, so each of those is, I'm declaring the place in memory, and then I'm putting a number in. So I have semicolon, semicolon, semicolon. So that's the difference between this and what we've done up here. Here are just empty places in memory where I'm going to stick stuff later on. Here, I know what I want to put into those places in memory, so I'm going to declare them and then assign values to them. Alright, now we're ready to go ahead and start with our input section. And I have a place in memory called shift 1. So I'm going to copy that. Oops. Copy that and paste it in. Then I'm going to have to actually type some code. I'm going to assign to that place in memory what's returned from my prompt when I ask the question, what is, let me try, how many shift 1 widgets? Question mark. And then I have to close that quote, and then I have a default value. And there's no default value that makes sense here, so I'm going to go ahead and put quote space quote, so I don't have undefined in the box when it comes up, and then close the parenthesis and then semicolon. Alright, well the next two are the same as the first one, except slight differences, so I'm going to go ahead and copy them down. And the only thing I have to do is come up here and copy shift 2 and paste, and shift 3. And you probably think, well, why didn't I just change it rather than copying and pasting? And that's because copying and pasting are accurate and my typing is not. And then I just have to change the 1 to a 2 and the 1 to a 3, and now I have 3 perfect ones. If you remember, we used 1, 10, and 100. So for this default value, I'm going to put 100 in, just so that we can see how the default value works. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is we have these 4 assignments. I'm just going to copy them, comment. These are our calculations. paste them in and put semicolons at the end of each one. Okay, I'm done coding it. That's it. And the final thing I have is my output. And here I'm going to use a document, which means a web page, and I'm going to use the write method, which is a subroutine, and then I'm going to put parentheses and then semicolon. All right, and then I can go ahead and copy that down. Let's see, I have 4, so I'm going to need some more space here. All right, I'm going to take this, copy it, copy it, copy it. Now this I'm going to take actually from my flowchart, because my flowchart already has the output already in the format I need it. So I'm going to open up my first output from my flowchart. I'm going to copy it, go back to my code, and in the parentheses I'm going to paste it in. Done. And then I'll repeat that. I'll go back, go to my second output, copy that, go back to my code, and paste it into the parentheses. Back to my flowchart, grab the third output, copy that, go back to HTML kit and paste it in. And then go to my final output in my flowchart, copy that, go back to my HTML kit and paste it in. Okay, we know that we're going to have a problem. This is all going to run together unless I put some HTML in here. So what I'm going to do is, in the beginning, I'm going to put a BR tag between the quote and the first character, and that means it's going to break the line at the end of this sentence. I want to do that 3 more times. So I'm going to hold down the Control key and drag it down and drag it down. Alright, well this is it. That's the whole thing. Now this should run absolutely perfectly. So let's see. Okay, I have an error on line 20. It's expecting a semicolon, so let's see what that's all about. Okay, on line 20, what I did is instead of putting semicolons, I put, so I once again prove that you are the one who's going to be putting in typos. Well, my copying and pasting was perfect. And here I put colons instead of semicolons at the end of each one of these. Alright, let's run it again. Okay, so the first one is 1. The second one is 10. Third one is 100. You can see the default value showed up there. And then you can see shift 3 is undefined. So on line 17, so I have to fix that. So let's go back to line 17 and see how that happened. Shift 3. Okay, so you can see that shift 3 is this, and you can see that there's that should be a capital T. And if I go back to my human algorithm, you can see that there is a capital T, so I must have put that error in myself. Once again, proving copying and pasting works. Let's try it again. 1, 10, 100, voila. 10, 250, 5,000, 5,020. I declare this solved. Okay, let's take a look, and I'm done.